What's going on, lads? Welcome to the first episode of my Sorare 26 journey. I don't know if I'm going to stick with that as a title or even as an intro, but either way, this is going to be the first weekend, or me documenting the first weekend of Sorare 26 in its existence. We've had JPL cards launched this week, we've had Austrian cards, we've had Scottish League cards as well, and the Danish League. How can I forget them? And yeah, this weekend now, game week, I don't even know what it would technically be, would it? Game week 98? Yeah, game week 98, which begins in 1 day and 15 hours, is the start of, this highly anticipated, Sorare 26. We get the 4-1 as far as like in-season streaks go with MLS, so that'll be fun. We've got SO7 with under 23s, which again, it's taken a lot of getting used to with the amount of blank spaces here to throw cards in. And in today's video and throughout the season now, I think I'm just gonna document like one sort of longish video, whether that's 30, 40, 50 minutes long. We know I can blabber, so yeah, it could be any length of video at the end of the day. But I just want to basically do a sit down video once a week. I go through my lineups. I talk to you about some favorites and players I think are good for the week, for example. Just naturally, no like sort of pumping anyone. Just as if it comes up, it comes up. Fixture wise as well, and just talk through like what I've done in that week. Whether that's buy some cards like I have for the Jupiler League, as you can see on the screen there, with classic Lord Vanaken leading the way. And yeah, it'll just be like a recap basically, and like a preview of the upcoming weekend in the in the Sorare sphere. And yeah, like it's basically my Sorare 26 Road to Glory. I've taken 2 minutes and 5 seconds to basically say that this is my Sorare 26 Road to Glory in effect. I'm not going to be playing limited other than the MLS, which is I bought MLS limiteds to do a Road to Glory, and I'm still kind of doing it. There hasn't been much glory, to be fair, so far, but we've still got 1/3 of the season left. But anyway, I don't want to make it like too sort of spreadsheety and be like, oh, this is how much I've spent so far. Like, I'll obviously show you what I've spent on cards and stuff, but it's quite hard to like, especially with the MLS, because we're like 1 or 2/3 away through the season. It's quite hard to be like to factor all that sort of spend and wins into Sorare 26, but then at the same time, it is part of like next weekend, right? Like there is MLS, there is hot streaks, 4-1, whatever. So like I'm gonna count it towards like what I win and stuff, but I'm gonna be quite fluid with like I don't want to like spreadsheet it basically. Like I can't be asked spreadsheeting things too much. I think it's quite boring. I know a lot of people like it, but I just don't really like doing it personally. But like I said, I'm more than happy to talk through buys and be like, I've spent this amount on a JPL team, on a Belgium League team, for example. Like I'm more than happy to kind of do that, but like because I'm always using a classic card and I've had classic cards for years, it's quite hard to forecast those prices into my lineups and into my wins and my returns. It just gets a bit blurry. Like it's easy if I'm just using in-season cards, but because you can use one classic, it just makes things a little bit awkward. But yeah, we can maybe start there. So the JPL, the Belgium League cards were launched around 6 or 7 days ago now. And yeah, I bought a couple of 2-offs. I bought Lasana from Anderlecht, who just moved from Go Ahead, who I fancy to be a really good player. Vincent Janssen, who I paid £62 for, just under £63. And the last recent sales are nearly up to 100. So we're seeing a little bit of FOMO now kick in just before the game week sort of closes in a day and 15 hours. I then bought a couple of collection pieces to go with him, so he's at 2% right now. And then I bought Michael Verrips. I bought a keeper. A lot of people use, I have a few classic Belgium League keepers, but at the same time, I didn't want to overspend on another outfielder. So I thought, let me get a goalkeeper that, he's definitely not one of the better keepers in the league. Like, that's just a fact, as you can see by his scores. But I do think he will. By the way, the color score, the new color for the scoring is just bugging me out. Like, I can't get used to it. Like, 75 looks like a 30 score. It just looks horrible right now. I'm sure we'll get used to it. But I do think he is one of those keepers that will benefit from like the 3 goals conceded or more situation. Not to say like he's going to be an elite keeper. Like I didn't pay much for him. I paid like £69 for an in-season keeper who I can use all season now for streaks. And I can always be flexible then with my outfielder. You know, for the extra player, like I made sure to buy an in-season defender, forward, and midfielder. So Lasana, Janssen, and Dan Fullen, sorry. So then my extra player can be whoever I want it to be. Classic Van Aken, classic Michele, classic Balikwisha if he's still playing for Antwerp. You know, like I have the flexibility. Whereas if you're using a classic keeper, you don't really have much flexibility because you have to play 4 outfielders that are in season. Anyway, so yeah, what did I spend there? 70, 65, so 135, 140 with this guy, 200. And Lasana, I did have like 20 odd pounds worth of market credit, so just call it 100 for now. I basically spent 300 pounds, I think, on those. What's that? Let me do it again. 140. Yeah, I basically spent 300 pounds on Janssen, Lasana, Fowlen, Verips, and a collection piece there. So yeah, £300 on the in-season element of the JPL lineup, and then of course I can use a classic card. Now we do have easier streaks for the first 2 game weeks, so I should be able to show you here. Oh, it's actually behind my face cam. Of course, it's behind my face cam, but the hot streak is boosted ×2, and the streak is lowered, so it would be 400 normally. I'm gutted I can't really show you. Well, I could show you, couldn't I? Let me just move my face cam a minute because, yeah, otherwise you won't be able to see. But yeah, there it is, 270. Should I just move myself down here for now? Yeah, 275 points then for the first week. So if I hit 275 points, which, let's be honest, surely this hits 275 points, right? There's a combined leaderboard this weekend, so it's basically if you finish in the top 20%, you'll get a D1 fast pass. So everyone that finishes in the top 20% will be in Division 1 starting next week. And you've got, Essence to win, XP, obviously the D1 fast pass, and the leaderboard cash. And on top of that, obviously the hot streaks, starting with, like I said, 275. And it's doubled. It would be $10 normally, but it's 20 for this week. And then the next streak, can I even see it? I don't think I can. But the next streak is 330, and you win $40 there. So I'm hoping like I know everyone's going to be hoping this, but surely it's an easy $60 sort of cash back in that sense with using this week and then obviously next week. The third streak I think is like 420 points, which obviously gets a bit tougher. And yeah, this is I didn't want to go for duds. You definitely could have done this cheaper if you are just aiming for the 2 lowest streaks. But I want a team that's going to compete for leaderboard cash personally, and I think realistically, I mean they're all at home. Tough games. Club Brugge play Genk, and Antwerp play USG. Obviously, league leaders from last season. So I don't expect there to be like crazy scores in my lineup here realistically, but I think it should easily blitz 275 as long as we don't get any DMPs. But of course, like I said, I've spent on what I think is good enough players. They're not the upper echelon. They're not Hans van Aken in season or Ciolis in season, the Club Brugge kid. It's not a Club Brugge stack. It's not like the best of the best Belgium League cards, but it's it's middle of the road, if not a bit better, I would say. Especially with the Hans van Aken classic. And like I said, I can use I've got so many options with that classic card. I can literally go Michele. I've got 2 Van Aken. I've got 3 Van Akens technically, but one's a super elf, so I'm not going to really use that here. I've got a Bobby Schoofs who I could easily use. I've got a Johnny Stukers, but obviously they're playing against Club Brugge, so there's actually quite a lot of tough fixtures this weekend. I could use Franjo. He's linked to Benfica right now, actually. I've got a classic Fulham. The rest of these lads probably wouldn't really get a sniff, but you get the point. I've got a lot of options in classic. I spent like 30 odd pounds on the Van Aken. I think I spent 20 on the Michele. I bought this Van Aken like 10 months ago, but whatever, right? The other thing to add into that, we do have the multi-club and the cap 260 now. So this lineup is actually 246 points, meaning I'll get a 4% boost on the whole lineup because it's below 260. Now, I don't think that's optimal all the time, but it just so happens that obviously Michael Verips basically didn't play most of last season, so his L15 is really low right now. I don't expect it to increase like a ton because I don't think he'll be an amazing keeper, but I think he'll be serviceable. For me to rinse and repeat maybe the first 2 streaks, the third streak, and maybe hit some leaderboard cash now and again. Eventually I'll want more than one Belgium team. I think that goes without saying. You can have 4 lineups. I think it's optimal to have more, but I want to sort of work my way into that because there's so many new cards coming out. I've only got so much money. I don't have unlimited money, right? Like Pranksy. So yeah, this is sort of the setup for me. And then I do have the multi-club thing, so I have 6% on this lineup because I'm not fully stacking. I've got 2 Antwerp players, Dender, 1 Anderlecht, and obviously 1 Club Brugge. And yeah, I'm very confident that it's the not the jackpot, but the streak this weekend. And on top of that, as you can see there, at the bottom it says 8% boost. Now I've been very hard at work trying to get my vault up to the highest level I can possibly get it to, and I'm currently on level 8, which I'm honestly really happy about. So I'll get 8% boost on any leaderboard cash that I win. It's nothing to do with the hot streaks. So if I win $1,000 in leaderboard cash this weekend in the Belgium League, for example, in this specific lineup, say if I finish say if I just finish second, $800 cash, I basically will get like $72 on top of that, just because I've got 8% in my vault. I'll also get 8% on the 750 essence, and I don't know if it counts towards XP. People are assuming it does, and I kind of am as well, but we'll kind of see how that sort of actually looks. But yeah, I'm honestly buzzing for JPL. I haven't really got too invested into the Scottish League yet, nor have I got any Denmark or Austrian cards, and those are, of course, on auction right now. Like, I don't have any in-season ones, although I did buy a it was just really cheap, and I sometimes can't help myself. I bought a super rare. I'm not even going to try and say his name, but basically there's I think he's from Zimbabwe, yeah. A Zimbabwean, is that a word? Hopefully. Forward. He's under 23, so I can obviously throw him into under 23 as well, but he's an in-season challenger card, obviously playing for Motherwell in the Scottish League. I paid £25 for it, or £26. I had an offer today for 40 quid on him, because I had him up for sale, and I was like, maybe I don't want to get rid of him, even though there's a bit of interest in him. I could have almost doubled my money on him already. I just looked at him and thought he's way too cheap. Like, no one was bidding on him, and I think it was like night time or whatever. I then bought this Owen Joukman, however you pronounce it, Joukmans. He's like the third keeper at Leuven, behind Layson and Privet, I think, and he had a little appearance last year. It's just one of them, and he had an error, to be fair. It's just one of them where, like, eventually he might, if Layson leaves and whatever, Privet's injured, you just never know. Like, goalkeepers always get injured and stuff, and I'm just taking he was literally 12. I paid £12 for that card, I think. Yeah, £12. So, yeah, I couldn't leave him there for that. I don't think he's going to be a star or anything. I'm not hoping Layson gets injured because I have a Layson, but, some random thing happens and he ends up being a starter somehow. Maybe next year, whatever. There could be an under 23 keeper there for me maybe in the future. So a little sort of bet on that, but again, 12 quid, and I'm not really going to miss that. I did buy a young Carlos Simic today, but looks like he might be carrying a knock going into this weekend. So I don't know whether I'm actually going to line him up in my lineups. But yeah, like I said, I've only got really involved in the JPL, sort of auctions and stuff so far. And I'm really happy with the sort of quality that I've brought in, to be honest. And yeah, we're just going to kind of go through my lineups and hopefully, well, I will talk a load of shit during that. Not in a negative context, just in I just like to blabber. And yeah, lads, I haven't really asked for anyone to leave a like on the video yet. If you've not done already, please do so. Subscribe if you're new as well. That would help. We've had a ton of new members join, by the way, the last week or so. We've had I think 10 or so new members not come out of nowhere. A lot of sort of members that didn't play the summer and stuff come back into the Discord and re-became renewed their membership with me, which I'm obviously eternally grateful for. If anyone else fancies joining my Discord, private Discord that is, and my membership section, £3.99 a month, I believe, through YouTube, and yeah, get yourself into the Discord. It definitely enhances Sorare experiences, put it that way. Had I not created that Discord, I don't even think I'll be playing Sorare at this point, because yeah, I just feel, not I would feel out of the loop, but like just having that sense of community is just so massive. And I'm in other Discords, or like paid Discords or whatever, like they're just random Discords, and yeah, I'm not saying you have to pay to get into Discords and to have fun, but it is a very good Discord. There's there's a lot to gain from it, I think. There's tons of members in there that are sort of experts from all sorts of sides of the footballing sphere. But anyway, that's enough me blabbing on about that. Let's get into building some MLS lineups, because I was gutted last week. I missed out on the third streak. I was a goalkeeper sort of decision away. It was Martin Pais or Coronel. I went for Coronel. Obviously, he shipped like 10 goals against Who did he ship 10 goals against? Messi's Inter Miami, of course. And Peisch gets a clean sheet, and it was always going to work that way, wasn't it? But thankfully, we do have the 4-1 this weekend. Excuse me, I lost my voice there. In MLS, so we can use one classic card to go for the streaks. I am starting a streak 1 again, which I'm gutted about. I was on a bit of a roll, and then obviously, the streaks are deceivingly hard, put it that way. But yeah, I am super excited to get hopefully 4 in-season MLS lineups out here. That's the goal. I think we should be able to manage it. But yeah, I've been over the last few months sort of accumulating sort of MLS classic smashes, if we want to call them that, like your Evanders, Hani Mukhtars. I've had the Rusnaks for a while. But the McGlynn's, a couple of Diego Lunas. I've just been trying to broaden my horizons basically with a lot of those cards, and I bought a bulk amount of cards off somebody, and it was basically an MLS bundle, and it was a really high XP bundle, and I was like, I can't really leave these cards, to go to a bot or something, so I ended up buying the bundle off him. But I don't know if we'll get 4 lineups out, to be fair. We'll go Gil in this one because that probably makes the most sense. I've got 2 Buangas, 1 in season, 1 not in season. Same for Oriano, actually. But away to Inter Miami feels a bit tricky. I do like Charlotte at home to Toronto, although I am a big Sean Johnson fan. Honestly, forwards is where I'm probably the strongest right now. Like, fucking Peter Musa, by the way. What a player he's turning out to be. I might move myself back up. Let me move myself back up. But then we can't even see all the players coming. That's fine. Musa's on fire right now. I'm tempted to go Musa classic Buanga and then use my in-season Buanga in the other lineup. But I don't know. Who is the best forward there realistically? LAFC at home to Portland. I think it's a good game. But then I also look at Musa and think, wow, he could blitz New York City really. But then again, in the same breath, Zaha could definitely walk all over Toronto. Honestly, that's a really, really tricky one. Really tricky. I think I'm going to go Musa. I'm going to go Musa and Buanga. Well, I said I don't even have to go Buanga, do I? I don't know why I was pigeonholing myself there. I could use any of my sort of classic, MLS midfielders here. Evander, Hani Mukhtar. They are both away though, which I don't love, if I'm being honest. Buanga is at home. Rusnak is away. Shambo is at home, to be fair, to Orlando. That definitely not a terrible move. Luna's at home to San Jose. I really don't mind that either. McGlynn at home to LA does feel pretty good. Although he hasn't really like smashed recently, although he did get a goal last week against his former club, Philadelphia Union. I'm just not too confident on it, and I just think Buanga's probably, like, if Evander was at home, but then I don't know why I'm scared to play Evander. Like, okay, at home, like, he just doesn't. Well, I say that he hasn't missed the last few games. Away, his scores are a little bit more temperamental. They're not exactly like, shocking, but Evander or Dennis Buanga, basically. That's a really tough one, genuinely. Like, I do really want to take the Evander, but then I'm like, Buanga at home to Portland. See, this is where you just get choice paralysis and it just becomes an absolute headfuck. Or we go Buanga and then Evander, like that. I think that might be the play. So I don't get the cap 260 bonus because it's at 305, but we do get the multi-club bonus. Let's submit that one in there then. And then move over to the second lineup, which is in Division 2. And let's just toggle this to in season only. So we could go, we've got a couple of Rocco Rios Novos who we think's going to start because Ustari, I think it is still out. Coronel away to Chicago. Mikovic away to Houston. Doesn't seem terrible. And then Toronto away to Charlotte. Definitely feels like the worst of the fixtures. It's just LA Galaxy love conceding goals, don't they? And it's just very hard to back them. But at the same time, man, fucking Coronel, I don't know what's happened to him the last couple of games. It's been horrendous. Or we go Rocco Rios Novo at home to Cincy. But then I'm rooting against Evander not doing well, which is fine. I do think I'm going to go with Coronel. I do have a a close affiliation to the New York Red Bulls, not for any reason other than I just always seem to buy their cards on Sorare. But we'll go Eli Coronel as the defensive stack. You never know, they could just keep a cheeky little clean sheet away to Chicago. Hopefully Zinkanakl has a quiet game. Unfortunately, Joaquin Pereira is suspended this weekend, so that's a bit of a killer. We've got Ashley Westwood there. I'm just looking at like what in-season cards do I have. De La Torre can play. We've still got Hani Mukhtar. We've still got McGlynn, but like I really want to play McGlynn in U23, but at the same time I don't really need to do that, do I? Let's go with, Musa has to play in this lineup then, at a minimum. I think we're going to go McGlynn, and then, actually, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to play classic Buanga in this one, and then we're going to need an in-season midfielder here. So that's either Pasalic, or we can just toggle this. It's basically Westwood, Angulo. I guess Pasalic is not in the season anymore. That's frustrating. It's basically Angulo, Westwood, Carmona, and then either Carlos Harvey or De La Torre. I think it probably has to be Westwood, to be honest. Or Captain Buanga in that one. We were close to getting the 4% there. Is there a way I could... See, this is where there is a bit of strategy to this, because... See, look at this now. So say if I do go Carlos Harvey, for example... Okay, no, I'm being stupid. I thought I was going to get the bonus on top of that, but it doesn't... Oh, that's so annoying. De La Torre's one... Like, if he was a 43, I would have got the 4%. I'm just trying to see if there's anyone that I could wangle into that would make sense, but I don't think it makes sense, does it? Let me have a look at the classic smashers again, just in case we could maybe if we... Yeah. Is Zaha in season still? Yeah, he is. Zaha's still in season. Okay, so we got... Yeah, we could do this. Right, we'll do this. I guess we don't even... I was going to say McGlynn would put us on 450. Yeah. I was thinking we could go Westwood here, and that would get us the 6% bonus. But they're all in season, which is not the end of the world. What I can do is I'll just swap Buanga in there. Oh, no, I am an actual idiot sometimes. Of course I can't do that. Because I'm over the cap again. Honestly, I'm an absolute idiot. Absolute idiot, I tell you. Right, we're going to do this one more time. I think, we can go McGlynn. There we go. Right. Now that makes sense. So that is 4 in season, 1 classic. And I do get the 6% bonus on that one. Like, I do fancy Westwood at home to Toronto. I'm not necessarily against that one. Now, the only worry I have now is I'll play Wilf and Buanga up front with sort of no worries, but I'm not going to play Sean Johnson against Zaha, so I'm going to definitely have to play either Rocco or Mikovic. I'll probably just go, because Rocco's L15 is 36, which is super low. We are going to need an in-season card here. Could go Yaimar away to Atlanta. Engel away. Joel Waterman's away. Everyone's away is the big issue here for me. I don't really have anyone in favourable positions. I'm probably better off going Engel. And then we can go... It needs to be an in-season card, doesn't it? Carlos Harvey, Angulo, or De La Torre. Don't really love any of those options, to be honest. Let's go Carlos Harvey. Captain Buanga. We don't get the 4%, but we do get the 2% multi-club. I've never been like a big stack, especially in MLS. Like I know stacks definitely work, but I do enjoy the whole 2% multi-club thing. Like I do think it's a nice incentive. So this is our fourth lineup now. We could mix it up and go either Mikovic or Sean John. I'm going to go Sean John because I'll probably play Mikovic in under 23, honestly. Let's go Waterman, Sean John. Untoggle that. Who do we have up front left this in season? Oriano, that works. And then we can go probably... It's probably Chambeau, isn't it? It's either Shambo, Hani, or Rusnak. I don't know. I really don't know. Let's go Rusnak. Then we need an in-season extra player. And that is probably going to be... I'll do my super rares after this. I might go Mohamed Sofo there. No, we'll go Della Torre. Yeah, we'll throw Della Torre in there. Captain Rusnak. Not too in love with that. But it's my fourth lineup. Like, you know. I mean, this is the first weekend that we're allowed 4 lineups, actually, which is nice. We'll do the classics after we do the super rares. Because I do have an in-season super team and a classic super team to get involved in. Now, I only have 4%. I have 4% sort of ceiling bonus on super rares, so anything I win here, I'll win an extra 4% on. Like I said, Pereira is suspended, which is a killer. So I basically am forced to go Pablo Ruiz, although I'm not 100% sure that he's going to play. We have to go Aliou. Wagner's a lock. Now, Sean John away just scares me, but so does Miami at home to Cincy. So I think I'm going to go with Rocco Rios Novo just because of that home advantage. I know, mind you, Messi and Alba might not play, which is definitely a worry. And then I'm almost forced to go with Navarro just because Pereira is injured. But we are under the cap, so we do get 6% on that. I do have Rocco Rios Novo on the market, but we can take him off. More than happy to do that. So yeah, that's the one in-season lineup done. I don't know what I'm going to do with my Sean Johnson. Because I don't have enough like in-season MLS players to play. I might have to play All-Star with him, or maybe even Cat Mode. Let's do under 23 next, though. Let's start with Super Rare. But yeah, it just feels so weird building 7-a-side lineups. Like, I just cannot get used to it. Anyway, we have one under 23 keeper to play with, and that is Tobe Layson. Hoiberg is, or however you pronounce his name. This kid's going places. I know his scores don't look insane there, but man, this guy's passing stats are just out of this world. Like, genuinely ridiculous. We've got Bahia and Ramos Mingo at home. Noah Eli, Giancarlo Simic, who I bought today, like I said. I'm going to play him for now, but I am a bit cautious that he might not start. Like, I'm going to look at that tomorrow on Thursday, see if he trains. I really want to go McGlynn and Diego Luna here, but Sandre Agali is the man right now. And then we've got Yari as well. We've got a couple of decent options. And then up front, it's got to be Franjo. He's kind of the only nailed-on forward we have. And then, yeah, it leaves us with an extra player, which is either Sindra Wally Agali or Yari or Mingo. But I'm probably going to go Agali. Give Jack McGlynn the armband. And that is our SO7, the first time ever we're playing an SO7 lineup this weekend. The prize is, I mean, move my face cam again. I don't know why I keep doing this. Let's go down here for a bit. Yeah, prize is star for first, which obviously is great. I don't even think we can see the star yet. I think the prize pools are still a bit... Oh, no, you can. Wow. Okay, so Ciola's up front at the top. Nigrin and Apollo, Ivanovic up there, Promise David, Oscar Gluch. So basically all the new cards. So it's a good time to win one of these, don't get me wrong. But yeah, star for first place, second's a tier 1, third's a tier 2, fourth and fifth win 1,000 essence, which is technically a craft, and then sixth wins half a craft, 7th to 10 wins 1/4 of the craft, and 11th to 20th wins 100 essence. I mean, I know the prize pool isn't like fully at its peak right now, just because like we've only got a couple of leagues out. Like, I'm not expecting it to be unbelievable, but it doesn't seem amazing if I'm being honest. But I'll reserve my judgment. This is the rare, so 5 stars for first in rare. It does seem a bit better for sure. And then yeah, what's that, like 9 tier 1s, 20 odd tier 2s, and obviously so on and so forth, down to 750th, which wins like 1/10 of a craft. I don't know how amazing that really is, to be completely honest. Anyway, I don't even think we have the outfielders to field like a ton of lineups here, but we've got big Chris Brady at home to the Red Bulls. We've obviously got the Mikovic, and we've got the Rocco Rios Novos. We could use Ovi as well. Ovi is starting in the Danish league, actually. I think he's on loan from Midtjylland, but I think we'll go with big Chris Brady in goal. Oh, that's annoying. Why does it show players that I've already played? That's going to really bug me. That shouldn't be a thing, right? It shouldn't show me the players I've already... Like, normally you have to, like, untoggle that. Let me refresh, because that'll drive me bonkers if I have to... if I have to see that. But yeah, very interested to hear if any of you guys have got involved in the auctions over the last few days. I'm sure some of you have. Yeah, interested to hear your strategies for the upcoming season. Right, let's hopefully... Please. They're still there. That's going to piss me off. That's really going to annoy me. Anyway, let's try and go through this then and get some players added that we know we haven't picked. So, Nazinho away to Dender. That'll work. Noah Eli, maybe. Everything's so much harder now without Sorare data, isn't it? We've got the Gaston Avila. Let's just go Emin Bayram away to Anderlecht. Don't hate the fixture. I don't love it though. We've got Ferraro, who's playing against Nazinho. I do like Tristan de Graaf. Tristan de Graaf should be starting actually for Anderlecht, but we'll definitely go Diego Luna. For our other midfielder, it's probably Tristan de Graaf, isn't it? Well, we could use Pedro Bravo, or even Ferraro realistically. But now let's go de Graaf for now. This is not looking like a great team, is it? I know we haven't got all the players back and stuff. Franjo up front, and then for our extra player, we can go with... I'm not in love with these options, lads, I'll be honest. Smets away to Club Brugge just feels really tough. Marshall Rutti, maybe, but again, I don't know if I'm liking many of these options. I really don't. Let's just go Smets for now, but that is subject to maybe change. We'll give Diego Luna the armband there. But we do get the 6% boost on that because it's below 370 points, I think, is the situation. I haven't even spoken about Arena either, because we've got uncapped Arena and capped Arena. I don't have enough essence to play in Super this weekend, so that's kind of a lock that I won't play it. At the same time, I am tempted to play a rare, but before that, let's just throw in our classic MLS lineup. We've got Mickey Amane. Oh, we're definitely not blessed with options here, are we? Let's go Noah Eli, Shambo, Paints. Oh, Brian White's a decent lock as well, though. Paintsill. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on the Arena as well. Are you going to be prioritising that over All-Star, for example? Because that will be a really interesting sort of dynamic, I think. We'll go that for our classic. We're 4 points off getting the 4% cap 260 bonus. Very frustrating. Yeah, Arena's definitely an interesting talking point. Like, I do think there is options to like do well from Arena. Like, I've never been in a golden one so far. I don't have enough essence to play at Super this weekend, so it'll be probably an all-star effort for me there. But I will definitely play a rare. But it's one of them where you go like, is it worth entering, 100 essence Arena? Like with some of my, classic MLS guys, for example, that I haven't used so far in my MLS lineups, like a Shambo or a Hani Mukhtar, Rusnak, a Forsberg, whoever. Or am I better off playing, Division 1 MLS Classic? Because I only play against, MLS cards, right? Okay, I don't play against 9 other people. Like, completely understand that. Star for the top 2, and then obviously tons of essence down. Like, top 20% win 100 essence. 100 essence is the entry into Arena. Like, this is not me slagging off Arenas. Like, I do think there's definitely a gap for them. But you got to think, like, especially the uncapped arena. The capped arenas. You need your players to fall into 260 points, which if they're good players, they're not all going to, obviously. If you've got an L15-0, then yeah, of course you've got a better chance of doing that. But I still think I'm better off playing, MLS D1 basically over anything else this week. Over playing the Arena for the most part. Like, I don't think it applies all the time, but like if I'm in D1 here, chances are, I'm probably better off, playing around here, I would say, than going into the Arena. Like I said, a lot of these like Hannies and stuff, they don't really even fit into the Arena. So it's not really even part of the equation. In fairness, I don't even have that many good sort of MLS smashers left this weekend, honestly. Like, Because of the 4-on-1 situation now, like I'm playing my best classics in season, so it's not as if I have that there is 276 points that wouldn't have even fitted in arena, right? So you can kind of disregard some of them. But yeah, I'll leave one lineup in there for now. So we've done under 23 super rare and rare, haven't we? I haven't done limited MLS. Let's just do that quickly, and then we'll probably have a couple of other bits to do before. How long have we been going? 35 minutes. I have rambled, but thankfully we are in D1 still in limited. Let's just... I hate how it shows me the other scarcities. I know it has to, but it just annoys me. Guzan's at home. DC are at home, as are Sean Johnson and Toronto. I've honestly got a couple of decent choices there. I'm going to maybe do a whole Atlanta stack, and then I'll do a, like this lineup, basically, that's not Atlanta related. We'll just do a full Atlanta lineup. I can't use Pereira, that's frustrating. Might have to be Navarro. Yeah, let's go Navarro. And then for the secondary lineup, we'll do a whole Atlanta stack, because at some point that has to hit, doesn't it? Atlanta have been the most underwhelming team all season, haven't they? They've been beyond shocking in MLS this season. And I'm sure this, as a bit of a side note, I'm sure this sort of series I'm going to start doing is, will have iterations and changes and stuff. This is just the first time, I'm sort of filming, the pre-Sorare 26 hype as it is, upcoming this weekend. But like I said, there'll be things that change and make it better. Maybe I'll have guests on and we can talk about lineups and whatever. I will say I will be giving away a video. I will be giving away a card in this video, lads. Just leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on Sorare 26. Have you bought any cards? Just a random message. Leave a like on the video, and I'll give away a rare card to somebody. A decent rare card, like not a terrible one, a good one, a useful one for this upcoming weekend. So yeah, leave your comments below, and obviously leave your Sorare gallery name as well. I didn't want to say this at the start of the video because people will probably just turn off and then not watch the video. But there's obviously you guys there that do decide to listen to me for 37 minutes unedited, and yeah, honestly means the absolute world to me. Let me go latte laugh. I'm not expecting anything from this lineup, but you never know. Miggy Almiron as captain. We don't get the multi-club, but we do get the 4% for the Cap 260 because, as we know, Atlanta United absolutely reek. Belgium League we've done. MLS we've basically done. Contender I'm not playing. Under 23 we've done. Let's go into All-Star. Let's finish on what our All-Star, at least Super N, our All-Star Super and Rare lineups could look like. So I've got 3 keepers technically. I've got Jardim, Otto DeWolf, and Sean Johnson. I don't think I'll be able to put out 3. I definitely won't be able to put out 3 All-Star teams. So I really this is where you just need I know all the leagues aren't back, but you know what I'm saying. Like this is where you really need depth to play any scarcity. Because if you've got 3 keepers, I need 18 outfielders here to even have a sniffer. Having 3 lineups, never mind 3 competitive. So yeah, it does become quite tricky to get that sort of depth, and without it, it's not easy. Let's see if I can stay under the 370 points bonus thing here. I don't. Maybe I do. Jashari. It's annoying. Jashari's not playing. We could do Heynen versus Vanaken. I think they'll be like legitimately man marking each other in this game. We could go Yari here. And then, we've got Mats Kohler. That'll be nice. Brian White as well, I think, could be an interesting one. I mean, Balikwisha's... It's very hard not to play Balikwisha, isn't it? I don't even think we're not going to be below the threshold here. Like, the 260 mark, which is okay. That's not the end of the world. Extra player. I tell you what. I was going to say, I thought Brian White would get us under there, but he doesn't. Could Heynen get some all-around score against Club Brugge? I think he could. I think he could get a load of tackles and stuff. Or do we go Ibarra, who is the tackle merchant normally, and hope he gets a ton of tackles at home there? Either option, aren't great, are they? In all honesty. yeah, let's go Heynen for now. We'll give Big Hans Van Aken the armband. So we don't get the Cap 270 bonus, but we do get the multi-club. And we do get... I need to have a look at the prizes for this, actually. I haven't really seen what the prizes are. Let's go Sean John. Let's go our K-League defender. Utkus works. Ibarra. Like, I'm not expecting... Like, this... At best, this lineup picks up a little bit of essence. You know, that's all I'm really searching for here. I can't expect much more than that, if anything, honestly. Like, that's just the extent of what I think this lineup will end up doing. Let's call it the... And like I said, I'm not even going to bother putting out a third one because I just know it's not going to do anything. What are the prize pools looking like? So, top 100 get essence. Okay, and right now there's 192 players in there. If you can hear pipes, I'm sorry, lads. Seems as though somebody got the water running. Yeah, 100 essence for the top 100. I mean, I don't know how many players are going to be in here. There's currently 192, and this is obviously Wednesday night as I'm filming this. That's going to rise. Like, that's going to be like 1,000 probably. So, top 10% on paper doesn't sound terrible. 500 essence for top 50. Okay, fine. Obviously, 1 star. Who's the man of the moment right now? It is Ciolis, it's Hans Van Aken, it is Fitz, Michele, Nygren. So there's some really nice cards there to win. Let's just do our rare lineups, and then the rest will probably leave for Arena, I think. We've got Bologna here. We've got Wallison down here. Belgium League. Yeah, let's do that. Away to Dender. Surely, although I want Dender to keep a clean sheet, I don't think Dender posing much of a goal threat, are they? Hopefully not, anyway. We've got Kolik down here. A load of dross. I mean, you've probably got to go Michele, haven't you, at home to Genk. Juan Caceres is definitely a very good option, though. We'll go Juan Caceres. We've got the Lord. We've got Valles. We've got Rusnaks. We've got a couple of decent players to play here. Yeah, let's go Van Aken. Rusnak's probably a lock, isn't he, away to Atlanta. We did bring in a Cecilia earlier. I paid like £12 for a Cecilia. I lost my my K-League virginity. I don't think I've got one other K-League card. I normally stay away from it, to be honest, just because it's so hard with like DMPs and stuff, and following news. It's just a bloody nightmare. Let's do that. I don't know why I got rid of Rusnak. That is actually I think that's a decent team. We'll give Cecilia the captain's armband. It's 410 points, so it's way over the cap 370 mark, but we do get the multi-club 2% bonus on top of that. That feels like an interesting lineup to me. Like, that is an all-star lineup if I've ever seen one. Now, 15 stars given out feels pretty good. What's that? 24 tier 1s feels good, 39 tier 2s, and then they're paying down to 1,500, and that'll get 100 essence, which right now there's only 2,000 players, so I know I haven't entered all my lineups and stuff, and neither of other people, but I can't imagine that goes above, like, I'd be shocked if that goes above 5,000. I'd be very shocked. I think eventually it will, but not this weekend. Maybe I could definitely be wrong on that. And then, yeah, it would just be potentially some arena lineups, I think, going into this weekend. But it's all about getting those low L15 players, really, isn't it? That really do help this strategy, along, basically. Like Nishikawa at 41 there at home. Like, you want players that you really think are going to outscore their L15, effectively. Like, this is just, the basics of an arena, getting under a points cap in general. I just don't know if I have the quality left to... Like, had I not done that all-star lineup, had I not played MLS in season, MLS Classic, then I'd be a bit more... Yeah, I'd be a bit happier, a bit more confident going into an arena lineup. But the quality of cards that I've got left here, I'm just not as... Yeah, I'm just not too confident in... I know you don't need, you do need good cards, of course. But ultimately, you need it still to be below the 260. I could probably squeeze one out, but I don't think I'm too confident in doing so right now, especially on Wednesday night. Like, it's not worth really putting that in now. But these are the main lineups, at least, going out for this upcoming weekend. Obviously, hoping to hit the the Jupiler League top 20% to get into that D1. And then, yeah, we've got the MLS in season lineups and in Super Rare and Limited. Full house there. Under 23 Rare and Super Rare. It is so weird seeing these cards laid out like this. So weird. And then, yeah, the All-Star lineups to end it. Like I said, I will probably dabble in a bit of Arena, I think, over the weekend. In Rare and Limited, you can enter at any point, which I think is pretty cool. But for Super Rare, you can't. But I don't even have enough Super Essence, so I'm not even thinking about that, to be honest. But yeah, just gonna have a little browse of the old auctions before we say goodbye here. Celtic cards have gone for a pretty penny, I can tell you that for free, which makes sense. Cameron Carter-Vickers there, just behind Simon Mignolet. It's interesting. We're on like the 10 of 100, and we've got like a day and a half left. I wonder what mints we'll get up to in the Jupiler League. Probably like 15, I would say. Maybe a bit more. I don't know. No, I'd say about 15, I would say. Roughly. I reckon 15 mints of each card will be minted by the time the lock happens on Friday, like the deadline. Anyway, I've rambled on now for 46 minutes. So I do apologise if you've stayed this long. If you've enjoyed it, then maybe I don't apologise. But no, honestly, lads, I appreciate you massively. Like I said, let me know in the comment section about your strategies, and just if you want to just put your Sorare gallery name, you're more than welcome to. You'll be entered into the giveaway regardless. Yeah, good luck for this upcoming weekend. We're going to make this a weekly thing now. I'll probably do my reward videos if I win anything on a Tuesday, like separately from this. So it'd be like a Tuesday, Thursday upload sort of schedule for those two things. Obviously, if I do other videos and stuff, that's besides the point. But like for the whole like Sorare 26 journey, it'll be like the prep work, which happens today on Wednesday or Thursday, and then the sort of rewards hopefully on a Tuesday when those come out. So yeah, super excited for this upcoming weekend. Finally get to power some fun lineups with obviously a couple of the leagues coming back, and then next week we've got Scotland back, and then we just get into the thick of European football. So yeah, appreciate you all, lads. I'll leave you to it now. Have a great week, and I shall see you guys in the next one.